founded in 1968 by George Jerry Smith. I should have done that one. But he's still around. That's the thing. And he's 94? I think he's 94. So our daddy Jerry Smith is around, and I hope he sees this. But, it first began as an experimental literary magazine and evolved into the art space it is today. And we are in a 120-year-old building. This used to be the Venice City Hall, but now it has been taken over by artists and writers since the late 70s. So you can know more about that through our website. We plan to be here a whole other century, and it will be thanks to your support. We have workshops every Monday night in fiction. These happen on Zoom. Our current facilitator is Raquel Baker, and you can go into these workshops, workshop your piece, and you'll get group feedback. So that's on Mondays at 8 p.m. And Wednesday night, we are having the poetry workshop with Jose Hernandez Diaz. Sometimes we have subs, like beautiful AJ. And awesome. Yeah, there you go. So if you want to, get some feedback from some of LA's finest poets, join our workshop, and we hope to see you there. It's free as well. And coming up, if you haven't seen the gallery upstairs, we have portraits of Charles Bukowski. These are photos that have never been seen before in the U.S., and they're taken by Joan Gani, who photographed Bukowski throughout the 70s for some time, and we are getting these exclusive photos in our Mike Kelly gallery. So we'll have a few programs with that. November 22nd, we'll be talking about his work, but also in conversation with the work of Wanda Coleman, as they were published by the same press. So we'll be having a panel with a few editors for that. And November, let me backtrack to what's happening next week. On Halloween, we are debuting the work of our interim executive director, Jimmy Vega, his new book called Their new book is called Zirconium Ash, and we'll be celebrating here. We'll be dressed up as different entities for that evening as well. And we'll be having a reception before the reading, so you can join us as early as 6 p.m. for a DJ set in the Poets Garden. And November 15, we are having our No Fest fundraiser poetry marathon. We'll be starting with an open mic in the Poets Garden. In the community garden out front. In the Poets Garden, we'll have a book fair. There are several presses that will be here. That section will be free. And in the theater, we're having 1 hour readings, each with a different theme. And that will happen here in the theater. So you can all come support and, just help for this space to continue thriving. This year especially vital because we lost a lot of funding, and unfortunately that has hindered our ability to have a free festival like we've had in previous years. We used to have the Southern California Poetry Festival, so we've had to kind of reshape that, and this year we are doing a fundraiser, so hopefully we could do a free event like that at a massive scale. Next year, since we don't have the support of fascist governments. So here we are, and we're all in this together. So thank you all for being here. So just before I wrap it up, I do want to say thank you to the Beyond Baroque team. So let's give a round of applause to Eric Alberg, who's in the booth, Jimmy, Genesis, Rhiannon, Barbara, all the wonderful people that work here. Yeah, thank you all. Tonight we are celebrating the release of the Blastbones Zine. This is the volume 1, and it is a zine put together by Mateo Perez Lara, Shelby, and a few other poets coming down from Bakersfield. So we're having a mix of Bakersfield voices as well as some LA poets in the mix. But yeah, we're gonna get into it, and so the feature sets will be short and sweet, and we'll then jump to an open mic, and at the end we'll be having we'll just have a costume contest kind of by loudest cheer, and two prizes. So this first one will be a tote bag, and there's goodies in there, um, including some books and notebooks. So there's some of that, to write your wildest sexual fantasies and whatnot, and you know, and just whatever comes to mind. Yeah. Okay. So let's just get the party started with some poetry. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna present each poet. I think we'll start with CJ Wheelan. Just so you all know a little bit about CJ, a writer hailing from sunny streets of Bakersfield, writing to process and reflect on their lived experience, sincerity, and objectivity, which are at the core of CJ's work. Drawing inspiration from storybooks and screenplays, JC crafts narrative landscapes that invite readers to explore new perspectives on relativity and experience. Ultimately, CJ believes it's the best when readers are left with questions to digest. Their favorite movie is Babe, Pig in the City. What's your favorite horror movie? Barbarian. Wow. Have you all seen it? Barbarian? Awesome. I've not seen it. I will check it out. But come to the mic. Let's give a round of applause to CJ.
Okay, y'all. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me. So my name's CJ. I am posted in the Blastbones Zine. This upcoming month, I've been involved with the Index open mic for about a little bit over a year now. So that means about a year of reading my poetry to people and sharing, and that's really only possible because Mateo shaped a space in our town where that could happen. So first of all, thank you so much, Mateo, for making this possible. People have no clue how hard you worked, but I do, and I admire you so much. Okay, so my very first poem is one that I actually wrote for Lit Hop last month, where the topic was dreamscapes. And I really struggle with that because I don't really dream that much. And if I do, that's because I'm repressing something and I'm not thinking about it, so my brain forces me to. So I often dream about my mom. And this poem is about kind of the times that my check engine light came on, and I really had to have those serious conversations. So this one's called I'm at the Door. I'm at the door, backpack slipping, a weight too familiar, carrying crushed flyers in my hand. Science fair, picture day, bring your smile. I have practiced nodding to your nose, unsure of how to tell you that the lunch lady is done doing favors. The wood moans under my weight. The moon shines behind me, and my shadow is cast like a monster in the doorframe. I swallow in silence and wonder, if love was supposed to live here, why does this house sound like it's mourning me? I'm at the door, after he slammed it, after your quiet didn't scream back. The silence on the other side is a warning. I press my ear to the wood like it might teach me something about staying. I imagine you, curled, small, ash on your shirt, counting to a rosary every mistake you've made and deciding that I am one of them. I don't knock. I just stand there holding my breath, hoping you'll remember to keep taking yours. I'm at the door. I've trained my voice to stay low, like a boxer guarding her ribs. There's a storm I keep folded neatly behind my teeth. I don't let it speak your name. I've studied your absence like scripture, tried to read between your silences for a blessing, but all I found were stagnant echoes, and in that is where I found me. Some days I see your face hiding in mine, and I flinch from its punch. I carry your distance in my stance now, chin tilted, jaw tight, like I'm always bracing for love not to land. I'm at the door, Motel 6, room 208. Your voice slips through the thin wall, fragile, sugar-coated glass. Go home. I'm fine. You sound so far above this, like broken days belong to someone else. The neon lights hum in judgment outside, washing me in their blue sight. I'm here anyway, running on empty, idling my car in a sea of asphalt, waiting for your call to shift. I'm at the door, bruised in places no one can see. His rage is a rhythm I've memorized. I keep still, very still. Like if I breathe too loud, I'll shatter the air. There's a crack in the ceiling I talk to now. Its collapse is an imminent comfort. I think about your hands, how they would untangle my hair. I want to call you, but the words feel too big for my mouth. What if you say it's my fault? What if you say nothing at all? I just want someone to say, you don't have to be brave tonight. I just want someone to say, come home. I'm at the door, not to be let in, just to leave something behind. A trace of warmth, a shape in the dust where a shadow tried to stand. I don't need you to open, but I hope you know I was here. And I hope somehow that still means something. Thank you. Okay, so this next one is called The Reaper's Song. And this is actually one that I wrote explicitly for the Blastbones Zine, and you can catch in there. It's inspired by a visual art project called The Shadow of the Drone, where the silhouettes of drones were drawn out on city landscapes to show their scale. And it really left you with the question of how something so large could be so covert. And my first thing I looked up was what kind of drones are we sending to Palestine? And the name of that drone is the Reaper MQ-9. This is the poem inspired by that drone. The Reaper's Song. It begins with stillness, the kind that thickens the air, the kind that animals feel first. A subtle shift in the world's pulse. It's the Reaper's song. A hum so faint, a silent drone. The kind that exists in the space between a breath and a vacuum. A presence that moves without trace. A force that grows, unseen, unheard, until it is too late to resist. The crescendo before cataclysm. Tempo is set by the running of children, bare feet churning dust, laughter lifting on clumsy wings of air. Their shadows stretch across the earth, and the sun dips lower with every wild breath. They build castles with hands too young to understand that above them the sky has grown eyes, multispectral. A predator, veins brimming with ichor. It watches, but they do not know. There is no call, no cry, only a lens where a God used to be. A future is forming in the rising heat of another's taboon, fabric draped over the soft curve of a belly, expectant. Her breath catches in the warmth of creation, not yet from fear, but from the comfort of the hearth's gentle glow. This is where generations gather, where there is shared warmth in blood. And still, something listens, a system, logging her pulse, her temperature, the whispered name of her unborn child. It listens for deviation, the kind that calls for their very destruction. Harmony is made by lovers in a stolen moment. Their bodies speak in hushes. Their mouths find each other like secrets passed through a hole in the wall. They dance within the illusion of their seclusion, their passions defining them in an infrared hue. They think that their lives are theirs to keep, but every touch is traced and every breath sold cheap. They are observed by eyes that do not know love, but they know what people will die to protect. An old couple sits in this silence, their eyes set to the space that holds us. They do not look for stars, though they flood the sky. They watch for the flicker, the one that comes before the sound, for the pause in the wind that means it's begun. Now they wait, not with fear, but with something colder, recognition. Their silence matches the drone. They hear it, though it is quiet now. Their hands rest together, not in comfort, but in readiness, prepared to count the seconds between a mechanism's click and the world breaking open. It is gone for now, but not for long. The reaper will return with calculated tragedies to set to its song. This moment of peace, if it is at all peace, is preceded by corpses that no one can count, names buried beneath the data and debris. This is not the aftermath. This is the method. When the reaper sings again, it will not be a surprise. It will carry on until the children are lost in the dirt, until the ovens are left cold, until the final cry is swallowed by silence. There is no morning where memories die after dusk. It is these fragile ties, these tender seams, that weave the very fabric of imperial dreams. The cacophony, a slow slaughter, a secret to no one, an accepted reality for many. We flinch at the footage, but the guilt is a silence that we have learned to live with. Our outrage, barely a whisper. It hums beneath the drone in steady faith, and still it plays, the reaper's song. Thank you. Okay, so this is my last one. This one is called Circling. It's one of the first poems I wrote for the index space, all about systems of belief. Circling. The world has a fantastic way of bringing things back around. Circulation, it gives meaning. A line of confirmation, a hot touch from fate. With life I breathe, with every breath I live, a sufficient and self-propelling cycle. Where this circulation meets depth, that is where sanctums are carved. Exponential by nature, beliefs spiral around their path, wildly gripping for direction. ascent, descent, regarded only by what is discarded. Progress sits in upheaval, but fate is to lay in the collateral. Concede to the ever-present pull to the core, the reminder that no matter the number of glass ceilings you've shattered, the earth will drag your body back to the bed you've made. There's the somber sight of those who glimmer from the bottom of an early grave, who dim away and fall, resting finally in the dust from the lines that they carved in the wall. Our only solace is in knowing that they will one day be free of the weight that is over us. I'm not spared the journey of the cavern. I have learned to dance with Plato's shadows who dominate my vision, steady only in knowing that not a single one would have shape and not a single one would have form without the brightness of my spirit. In each other's comfortable company, in the acceptance of our reliance, we become more than me. Together, we are a creature of world-building opportunity. Thank you. Do I have enough time for one more question mark? Awkward. Oh, okay, will do. Thank you. Let me pull up here. I have poems that are like in my notes app, and then I have poems that need like a retina scan to get to. So these are one of those. This one is actually my very first piece of writing. It came from a journal from when I was going through a really tough time. And in that journal, I just couldn't bring myself to write the first 3 pages. I left them totally blank. And I filled up the rest of the book with all my pain. And when I finished that book, I went back to the first 3 pages. And this is what I wrote there. I write these words on the pulp of my ripping cries. I write here to ease the grit between my teeth, in the hope that this ink strikes the stone from my throat to the sinking feeling in my stomach. Oh, to be a book, 3/4 full with no first quarter. Reader and writer alike left, begging the question, who are you? My heaven on earth, why can't I give you a name? I do not hope for the scrawling of another upon your blank countenance. Rather, I'm paralyzed by the significance of your existence. I am damned by scenes of memory with no concept or relation to a beginning or an end. I am trapped between memory and meaning, seeking a voice that cannot speak, a title that will never be given. In the void between who I am and what I could have been, I am both the author and the captive of this silent, endless scene. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very excited for the next couple writers, so I'll go ahead and hand the mic off. Thank you.
Thank you, CJ. Awesome. Just want to also say Shelby Pinkham couldn't join us this evening, but they are with us in spirit. If you are tuning in, Shelby, hello, hello. Cheers. We love you. Jackie Savio is joining us. And Jackie is a lover of written language, and her work explores themes of power, vulnerability, and resilience. Born and raised under the poverty line in Southern California, Savio seeks to elevate the language of survival through subversive narratives surrounding femininity. Let's give a round of applause for Jackie's.
Just want to say thank you, David Vato Wallace, for getting my last name correct. Really appreciate that. Hi, guys. I'm John Milton's version of the devil. Thank you. Formerly known as Jackie. I'm actually going to read a portion of Paradise Lost written by John Milton. It's basically a long poem written in the 1600s about Satan and what happened after he got cast out of heaven. Is this the region? Is this the soil? The clime, said the lost archangel. This the seat that we must change for heaven? This mournful gloom for that celestial light? Be it so, since he who now is sovereign can dispose and bid what shall be right, farthest from him is best. Whom shall hath equaled, forth hath made him supreme, above his equals, farewell happy fields, where joy forever dwells. Hail horrors, hail infernal world, and thou profoundest hell, receive thy new professor, one who brings a mind not to be changed by place or time, a mind in its own place, in its own self, can make a heaven or hell a heaven. What matter where if I still be the same? What should be but all less than he, whom under hath made greater? Have at least, we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here for his envy, will not drive us hence. We may reign secure. In my choice to reign is worth ambition through hell. Better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. But wherefore let we, then our faithful friends, the associates and co-partners of our loss, lie thus astonished on thy oblivious pool, and call them not to share with us their part in this unhappy mansion or once more, with rallied arms to try what may yet regained in heaven or what lost in hell. So Satan spoke, and him Beelzebub thus answered, leader of those armies bright, which but them omnipotent none could have foiled. If once there were here that voice, their liveliest pledge of hopes and fears and dangers heard so soft, in worst extremes, on the perilous edge of battle when it raged in all assaults, their surest signal, they will soon resume new courage and revive. Through now they lie, groveling and prostrate on yon lake of fire. Thank you. 1600s, y'all. That's crazy for 1600s. So my next one is going to be the one that got me published in Blastbones. Thank you, Teo. Let me go ahead and find it. The name of this one is Hush, Sugar Girl. It's no secret that I've been a sex worker for the past 7 years, and I wrote this poem to kind of explore what that journey has been like for me. Hush, Sugar Girl. I have had vivid dreams of freedoms, but awakened to my time hot and ready. My soft skin becomes a currency. My gaze is a ledger. My moans are on loan. I'll read anything by daylight, but at night I ghostwrite the fantasy crafted and manifested, play as a muse to men I don't trust with my name. They call me their baby. To them, maybe to me, it's a part of the games. I let them, of course, because subversion don't pay my tuition. I preach transmogrification as my lips still purr for power. My flesh has become a temple. My rent becomes overdue. Am I a hypocrite or just a girl who's learned how to make a man kneel? I'll write and write my way out, above even soon. Until then, let them worship. Thank you. I got one more poem for you guys, and then I'm gonna get out your way. This one I wrote about some of my friends who I just was really inspired by their beauty, femininity, and resilience. This one's called Ode to the Girls Who Glow at Night. I know a couple of girls who shimmer and flicker bright. Their bodies are bound together by a hum of borrowed light, a secret blue shine that the dark illuminates free, a hushed and whispered glow the world refuses to see. Their laughter buzzes like neon. They moan and writhe, voices beckoning turn me on. Their hips move like fire and their lips crave sin, an eternal dance overflowing the bottle rim. Coated in phosphorescent chrome, hands reach out but can never grasp these girls whole. Their bodies are like silk with hearts smelling like coal. They glow for no one, they hurt for fun. Wreck you deep and hard before they've even begun.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Jackie. Awesome. All right, next up is the one and only Mylo Lam. Born in Vietnam, lives in Los Angeles. He and his families are refugees from Cambodia. And Milo's work has been published in the Margins, Nightboat Books, and a few other places. His multimedia work won Palette Poetry's Brush and Lyre Prize. His poetry won Blood Orange Review's Emerging Writers Contest. And his chapbook, And Not / And Yet, was published by Quarterly West. He has a master's in education from Harvard and is currently pursuing his MFA in poetry at Randolph College. Flexing here, Mylo. Give it up.
Trying out different things. Thank you, Yvonne. And thank you, Beyond Baroque, and thank you, Teo, for having me. Very touched. I have two poems for you. I wish I could read the one that's in Blastbones, but it's like a haibun that's like, there's a lot of visual stuff, so I'm going to read something else. The first one is an audio piece. So I have my little speaker here. It was when we found out my dad was going to die, we went to the Buddhist temple and we told them that it was happening so we could like do the preparations. And they were like, "Oh, do you want us to come to the hospital?" And we're like, "You do that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll do that." So then at the ICU, then in this like very sterilized place, then these monks came in their like sandals and dressed in their monks' garbs. And this poem is about that. Let's hope this works.
The monks arrived, shuffling their feet toward the lip of Naraka. Their umber speaker box chanting into leaf litter. The monks stood, alms ringing out. Inviting the father, now part of the caves, so he could breathe.
At the ICU, the family idled by a suddenly crowded room. It was muted, except for the ventilator, keeping the father's lungs from decaying before morning. In the quiet, the family took turns to imagine the walls were stretching, and the procession could begin.
The monks arrived,
at the ICU.
shuffling their feet toward
The family, addled by
the lip of
the suddenly crowded room.
Naraka,
It was muted, except for
their umber speaker box,
the ventilator, chanting, keeping the father's lungs from decaying
into leaf litter.
before morning.
The monks stood,
In the quiet,
ohms ringing out,
the family took turns
inviting the father.
to imagine the walls
Now part of the caves,
were stretching,
so he could breathe.
and the procession could begin.
Cool, thank you. Okay, I have the second poem. I've been working on this collection about this entity called the Collector, and the Collector exists at the very, very end of the world, like the post-apocalypse, and they're trying to collect like the last vestiges of the world, and like what's the last laugh, what's the last grain of rice. So it's like kind of a perspective on human civilization or civilization in general from this very far perspective. So I'll read that. And this poem is called The Collector Witnesses Human Civilization. They kept killing each other in caves and across steps. They saw the dead pile up. Rains bloated corpse skins and rains washed bodies, sullen socket smiles into soil. They buried corpses, but they could smell the dead, and rains washed up bloated bodies to re-witness. So they hunted and gathered elsewhere. They butchered the cattle and suckled cattle milk and kept killing each other over stolen cattle. They wondered what were the learned lessons. They saw cattle milk seep into bloated bodies. They saw how bodies looked like them. And they wondered what happens when we too become dead. They kept killing each other so they could live longer. Their hairs and insides varicose. To help them comprehend, they concocted gods for comfort. They wanted gods to explain why the killing, why the corpses. They told the gods, we want to get as close to death as possible. The gods did not come. The gods did not comfort. They thought maybe the gods don't come because we aren't good enough, or maybe the gods don't come because some of us aren't good enough. The sum of us become the sum of them. They weeded out some of them, flayed, drowned, decapitated, punctured, cannibalized, subsumed some of them, so gods would come. The bodies did not go away this time. They had to see them. They had to smell them. They had to sex near them. They believed their gods were watching them fuck divinely. They began having dreams of killing each other. They began having dreams of being killed, their hearts in the stomach of the maggot, their stomachs in the soupy shit of the vulture. They told others of these dreams, and soon everyone was dreaming the same dream. They called upon the gods, and the gods still did not come. So they called upon their armies, and called their armies God's hands. Their hands hugged fire, melted metal into blades, tipped them with toxins from toads and hemlock. Everyone's dreams came true. God's blinding hands reached into their hearts and their scrotums. They believed the gods were telling them, save yourselves. Eat the others. Dreams ended. Imagined harder. What gods wanted. Hands kept reaching, grabbed gunpowder, powdered lungs, coughed blood, blood stepped, blood hands, despised gods, engulfed bodies gods where? Drunk, blood steeped, what have hands done? Gods not here, are we gods? Keep, kill, kill gods, kill gods, kill. Reaching hands, rockets, bombs bursting, poisoned silos, fly high silos, drop silos over, 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 over. Ah, ah. Look how big our shadows are, they exclaimed. Ah, ah, we are shadows of shadows. When they were done killing each other, much fruit trees sundered, much flesh atomized to ash. In long-lost highways, deserts before them, they saw the gods in their shadows. The armies reached into their throats and spread their nails into their cords, for their job was done, and they had reached far too long. Good. They whispered to the shadows with squeaky, low grunts. We are saved. Look what we've done. For you. The shadows did not answer. You remain silent. Are you stupefied? Have we become your gods? The gods did not answer.
That was hot. Thank you. No, good stuff. Good stuff, Mylo. Thank you. Damn. What entity are you? Poet-wise? Dead poet-wise? Yeah. Vicente Huidrobo. Yes. The poet is God. That's right. You know, is David Vata Wallace bisexual? You be the judge of that. Some people just wake it up in you. So, bisexy. No, nah. All right. Next up, is it true? Well, no, actually, they love bisexuals, but I don't know if they are bisexuals. So, yeah, and you know they are just the mastermind behind Blastbones, and so many other cool things happening in Bakersfield, and you know also with CJ being part of Index Books, founding that. Like it's awesome that you all are doing that work out there, and I've had the honor of reading in Bakersfield at least once, but we'll be there again and hope to share more space with you all. But yeah, I mean, just to, you know, give it a little spiel about Mateo Perez Lara, but the work can be found in Blastbones, can be found in Huizache, and many other online journals and in print as well. So yeah, I think Teo is just, you know, barely getting started. So I think we'll be seeing a collection from them very soon, I hope. So no pressure, but we want to see it. So let's give a round of applause to Mateo Perez Lara.
Hello. It's nice and dark. I can't see anybody. This is awesome. I just want to say thank you to Beyond Baroque for giving us this space. I've known Yvonne for what, like 2 years now. And I'm grateful that you allow me in your community, that we're in community. A lot of, this Blastbones, this zine started off as just a thought in my mind. And, with help from the Index Books, my friend Kara, who runs Index Books, them sponsoring us and our events, to Shelby Pinkham, who they're kind of like my right hand man, helping me with ideas. It just this is community love, community heart. And yeah, I'm just grateful for everybody who's been on the road and on every step of the way on this journey, for all the people who submitted, and for everybody who supports us, supports the zine, just supports art in general. It's really important. And we thank you so much for existing, all these beautiful spaces and people for existing and, giving love. Submissions open for volume 2 on Halloween Day. So if you have any art, plays, short stories, poetry, please submit. We're always looking for new submissions and looking for more community. So I have a few poems for you. I am going to read a couple from the zine. Me and Shelby were kind of fighting about this, like, should we put our poems in the zine? And we were like, yeah, we should just because, like, it is a dream baby, like, it's a baby that I created, but it's okay. No, I was like, no, we should put our poems in there because, it's the first iteration, and these are the people who are behind it, like we should put, we should put a face to the poetry and the art, so we went ahead and put our poems in. So I'm going to read a poem called Zombie Circle. It is in the zine on page 48. Zombie Circle. At the end, we hope the beginning loops back, shows us alive, so alive. Then in death, our fingers twitch. We hope the necromancer picks up the bones evenly, puts them out on display, shocks the audience when each body part begins twitching back together, restructuring itself. How our past loves come back to life. The hair, the teeth, the eyes. This rebirth, this is the worth of patience, our putrefaction. Watch this beautiful body rot, then reform, worms and all, as it smears makeup all over its new skin in an attempt to hide each decayed, violent reminder of before. Before one could suck in air, speak up, what color would you like on your eyes after you take another first breath? Watch the glitter cover each foul pit. Watch how they put a flower into each remaining hole on their cheeks. We become so mesmerized, then so entranced, we shudder as the skeleton kisses each observer, licks its lips, then enters inside. All right, I'm going to read, I know, I kind of probably went overboard and put 3 of my poems in the zine, but you know what? It won't happen in the second volume, okay? So let me indulge. Okay, so this poem is called Sex Dream. I have very vivid dreams about a lot of different things, but this was just, a conversation or I guess a lens into which, sometimes things you dream about feel real. So this is called Sex Dream. Chaos right now, please. Tonight, chaos, this body right now, please. Close the curtains, shut the doors, turn the news off, leave the phone on the floor. Let us forget these tragedies for a little bit. Cross out our names, slash through our letters, inspect each other, lock our deviled images away. This is how a ghost thread begins, with disappearance and sweat. We do not have a name for bloodshot eyes, unburdened shoulders, silence of a mouth holding onto a harsh, concordant note, banging, buckling, twanging in the ear, the soft crevice darkened in reverie of another body. How does one enjoy this? The beam is coming. What do we do with the light? Like, touch your phantom, another chord, disharmonious on skin, another dichotomy in which you hold me, in which you turn away from me, another release of breath, milky residue, a caterpillar body before butterfly before growth. How does one cling to another if another has an emptiness or desire for pleasure but pulls away at any worthy moment of release? I fight the ancestors when I swallow. Each despair loops itself through my queer fat frame, a story beaded across bone. It knew me before I knew it, before I could blink or eat or drink or get hard or think about names for disaster or destruction. Don't spank me unless I say. Don't leave me unread. Don't sit there gazing at me like an artifact. Do not pretend you haven't thought about any of this. Wet throb, come talk to me. Come over here. Sort out the moan in your throat. These pangs, anxious, right here. Hold my head down. Plunge into chaos. This body. Touch this chaos with your body. Chaos right now. Touch. This is unprecedented behavior. I'm going to read a poem from my phone. I usually like to print everything out, but I didn't this time, so this is not something I usually do. All right, this poem is called Body Horror. I really, really liked the movie that just came out this year called Together. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. It's great. It's weird. It's gnarly, but it also made me think about like codependency and like attachment issues you have with partners or just people, you know, and kind of how that movie kind of, you know, puts a lens and a metaphor onto that. So yeah, this is kind of my spiel on that metaphor. This is called Body Horror. At sunlight, I slice my grief finger from your shoulder. You offer me dark liquid because you notice I am thirsty. Then I heave towards you as you rush away. There is a disturbing connection at play. My leg, like glue, sticks to yours, so we rip them apart. My hand suckling the veins in your arms, so we saw the skin between. We offer an escape, but do not call it safety. Our blood is all over the place. There is a void as we decide to become each other. Tendrils move through our sinew, poke holes where you used to desire me. There is a void in which we do not say what we mean, but bones crash and meld, our lives crumbled in one another's hands. I puke up your eyeballs, you lick my eviscerated toes. I'm suspended in your room, bloodlet. I am lost in an ideal we will not achieve. This is how it always ends in those movies, queer love, happy love, in a void, not quite what we wanted, but we still fill with hope. I am tired of this morsel, rip it from me. I don't want to live like this. I have one more. My bestie couldn't be here today, Shelby Pinkham. They are backbone for this event and just for life in general. I am very grateful to have them as a friend. Love you, Shelby. They couldn't be here. They're amazing. I am currently looking. I had the poem up and now it's gone, so bear with me. I hate when this happens. Oh, right here. Or no, not right here. I lied. I have to scroll. Um, where you at? Anyway, Shelby's a great person. They write great. They're one of my favorite poets. Blah blah blah. I'm just kidding. Where is this? Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yes, everyone walk around. I'm sorry. Oh, found it. I found it. Okay, great. I really love this poem from Shelby. It's one of my favorite poems ever that they've ever written. They didn't read it for me at Lit Hop Festival last week, and because I was being kind of a grumpy at the beginning of the day. So this was I guess it was my punishment not reading my favorite poem. But I'm gonna read it right now, and it's called "In My Wake a Pile of Teeth, a Burning High Bun" by Shelby Pinkham. And this is my last poem. Thank you, Beyond Baroque, and everybody who came. In the days leading up to Pink Moon, we rewatch American Werewolf in London. What is spring without a brutal transformation? Elongation of fingers, muscles expand and contract, bones stretch, call out, help me, new hair sprouts, fling clothes across the room as if they burn the skin. I'm a connoisseur of body horror and practical effects. I'm an apologist for the transformative nature inherent to monster movies. I am convinced of the possibility of transcendence, worshiping in the church of I can heal these wounds in the ashes of $5 movie bins. The good doctor says, if he survived an attack by a werewolf, wouldn't he himself become a werewolf? Oh, I don't mean running on all fours and howling at the moon, but in such a deranged state he might harm himself, perhaps other people. For a fateful 2 weeks, it is neither unbearably hot nor unbearably cold, and I am not yet covered in mosquito bites. Werewolves set fire to the family home. It is a juxtaposition of Kermit and machine guns for me. It is the survivor's guilt for me. When my niece's therapist tried to cease meetings, I say, abso-fucking-lutely not, she needs you. They start journals instead, comics, letters to mom and dad, what I love about myself and feelings. We explore the feelings chart and discuss how strange it is to experience many emotions at once. In Autobiography of Red, Anne Carson whispers, we would think ourselves continuous with the world if we didn't have moods. Every Aries season I move through mania. When my jaw works this fast, when my body gushes sweat, when I swing the car door open to the sound of cats yowling in heat, I do feel continuous with the whole goddamn world. It's also the elongation of teeth into fangs. My other niece currently has 3 emerging from her gums. Teeth sprout all over my body. Little shards of bone emerge from under my sheets, on the nightstand and along the walls. I dream even those meanie mosquitoes grow a row of teeth down their backs, buzzing, toothy dinosaurs looking for blood. I cast a protective spell for my sister against mosquitoes since she sleeps outside most nights. Brutal bones flung from the body. I'm a connoisseur of my body swing to the sound of she needs you. I dream of teeth, blood, and surviving, such a deranged state for my sister. I dream of transcendence, cast a spell to love and heal. Thank you. Oh, and I dressed up as Emily Dickinson.
One more round of applause to all our hot features. All right. Yeah, Milton's Devil. I love that one. So thank you, Jackie. All right. So now we are going to go to our open mic section of the program. And I see a few names. There is room for a few more. So just keep it at 4 minutes or so. These are all our literary ancestors. So yeah, let us know once you come to the mic who who are you presenting yourself as? And yeah, give us a fun fact. Favorite horror movie, favorite horror book to read and recommend. So we all leave with something to watch tonight or read. So first person I'm gonna call is Sabrina Garcia. Are they in the house? Yep. Awesome. Thank you.
So I'm in the Zine, but not my poems, just my art. I don't really I watch horror movies, but I don't really have like a favorite. An interesting fact, I used to own a chinchilla named Batman. There you go. I'm gonna start heavy and end light. This is called Is This What You Call Love? And I have read all these for the index books, and I just want to thank Teo for even making a space for me to create and share my poems, because I never would have put myself out there if it weren't for him or them. Love you too. Is this what you call love? I was a flower when we met, now I'm just another weed. You said you'd love me, but as time progressed, I sank into a need for companionship, blinded by the emotional abuse. A seed in your plan to gain from other success. Emotional became physical. My future was scarred by you. Having to relearn who I am, I allowed the words you said to pass over my body as if one day you'd love me without restrictions. I trusted my heart in your hands. This could not be love. My dreams were too real. I was stuck in bed and shock sent over my body. My body thought it recognized your presence and became terrified of your touch once again. My dreams turned into a nightmare that was once reality, a repeat cycle of attempting to get out of bed to see if you were lurking. I woke up to realize this was now my life. I'm in a constant fear you might be near. I'm in a constant angst of what you might do to me next year. Why was I so hard to love? Why was I so hard to accept? Why was I not enough to put down your fist and choke back the hurtful demeanings you said? You said you loved me? But this could not be love. Why were you so cruel? Why did your touch have to be so hard? Why was your soul so cold to the world? Why was the manipulation so well received? When did the narcissism come to be? When did you become this way? And why was I so easily swayed by what I thought was your love? This could not be love. Did it become easier to deceive the women you lay in bed with as the numbers racked? I was just another name on your list. This could not be love. Were you not loved enough as a child? I have to believe that someone hurt you so deeply to make you this cruel. This could not be love. I told you actions speak louder than words, and you ended us in bruises and bloodshed. This could not be love. I was drowned in a pool of deception, numerous failed attempts leave the chokehold you had over me. How could you fail to nurture those closest to you? This could not be love. Thank you. This one's called Beyond the Low-Hanging Fruit. I don't want the fruit that hangs low. I want the fruit that's hard to find, head risen to the sky as if they could fly. I want the fruit that's hidden in the darkness of the leaves. I want the fruit that's sweet but does not deceive. I want the fruit that's ripe but ready to thrive, not one that's hanging low on its side, surrounded by flies. When my fruit finds me, I don't want to go hungry. I want to eat. My fruit's welcome to a seat at my table, but the fruit that hangs low, we cannot meet. Bring me the fruit that's ready for me, not the fruit that screamed to pick me. For when my fruit's ready, I'll be greeted with beauty, not rotten decay. I want the fruit that's for me, not the one that just wanted to be free. The fruit that's rotten will not be sought. For my fruit is ready, one of a kind, so divine, to pick from unforeseeable branches and circumstances, where love aligns and joy intertwines. My fruit was hard to find, but worth the fight. Thank you. Do I have time for one more? Thank you. This one's called The Healing Hearts. Like I said, I was going to end on a light note. I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary with my boyfriend, and this one's about him. Healing Hearts. A boy with caramel brown hair so bright and ocean blue eyes that shine like light. He met a girl with a heart so sore and helped her heal like a love forevermore. With a gentle touch and a listening ear, he helped her find herself and wipe away her tears. He showed her kindness and a love so true and helped her heart heal with a love that shines through. His ocean blue eyes sparkled with delight as he watched her grow and her heart take flight. Her smile returned and her laughter too, thanks to the boy with the heart that's pure and true. As they stood together, hand in hand, their hearts beat as one in a love so grand. Their future uncertain, but bright and bold, a love that's growing with a story yet untold. Perhaps they'll chase sunsets and dance in the rain, together forever with the love that remains. Maybe they'll build a life with a love that's strong, and their hearts will continue to beat as one all day long. The boy with caramel brown hair and ocean blue eyes helped the girl find herself and reach for the skies. And though their journey may have started with pain, it ended with love and a heart that's whole again. Thank you.
Thank you, Serena, and happy anniversary to all the horny devils out there. Yeah, our next poet, also a horny devil, is Genesis.
In a past life, I was a dancer, but no one ever talks about that with me. There's a long history of like a lot of this. And I wanted to do that because I'm reading from Ntozake Shange's choreo poem for colored girls who've considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. Because my costume today is the lady in red, which is one of the characters in this story. And I have my little plant. One of the pieces attributed to this character is called Without Any Assistance. And it's one of my favorite pieces to read for auditions, because this is normally staged as a play. It's called a choreo poem, but it's usually staged as a play. Without any assistance or guidance from you, I have loved you assiduously for 8 months, 2 weeks, and a day. I have been stood up 4 times. I've left 7 packages on your doorstep, 40 poems, 2 plants, 3 handmade postcards I left town so I could send to you have been no help to me. On my job, you call it 3 in the morning on weekdays, so I could drive 27.5 miles across the bay before I go to work. Charming, charming, but you are of no assistance. I want you to know this was an experiment to see how selfish I could be. If I was really capable of debasing myself for the love of another, if I would really carry on a snare a possible lover, if I could stand not being wanted when I wanted to be wanted, and I cannot. So, without no further assistance and no guidance from you, I am ending this affair. This note is attached to a plant I've been watering since the day I met you. You may water it your damn self. She's kind of my favorite lady. There's several, and they're all named after different colors. And then since Ntozake Shange is with the ancestors, and the space is named after Wanda Coleman, we have so many amazing spaces within the building of Beyond Baroque that are named after poets who've passed on, that part of this lineage. I wanted to read a piece that I've been working on for a bigger thing, and it's called The Ghost Interlude. I'm stitching together moments that just happened. You in the car telling me you've never seen a dead body. Me painting my nails at work because it's slow. A ragged strip of bloody nail being pulled away with teeth. I'm stitching together moments that happened a long time ago. My grandmother's nails when she was alive. Pink cuticles under thick nails with grooves like the bark of a tree. My little fingertips running over them. I'm stitching together moments that didn't happen. Each stroke of intense blue turning his nails into a midnight sky, telling him how beautiful he looks in this light, how beautiful he looks in every light. I'm stitching together moments that just happened, staring at photos of his hands. Oh, how I love his hands. Oh, how I'd wear his hands around my throat. I'm stitching together moments that happened a long time ago. My dead sister's nails, pink, unused. She'll never have to dig into tender flesh for her own peace of mind. I'm stitching together moments that never happened. My fingers in your mouth, teeth again, sliding along the digits, sharp pinpricks of pain. I'm stitching together moments that just happened. The scab on my knee that never heals. Scraps of scar tissue littering my car or my bed. He watches me apply yet another bandage, eyes wandering my knees. I'm stitching together moments that happened a long time ago. This tongue spinning yet another lie. The teacher's eyes graze my thighs like a blade, but do not break the skin. I'm stitching together moments that did not happen. My little sister and my grandma hold hands. My daughter paints my nails. My cuticles are not full of blood. Thank you all. Thank you, Teo, for this zine again.
Right on. Thank you for that. Next up, we got Andrea Gibson. All right.
Hello, everyone. So I have an A.J. Luxton poem and then an Andrea Gibson poem, and if there's time, maybe another. And I almost called this poem Andrea Gibson poem, but then I would have been writing a Bob Flanagan poem, which a few of you will get the joke of that. Bob Flanagan had a poem called Bukowski poem because people told him he was writing like Bukowski. So people have been telling me a lot that I've been writing like Andrea Gibson lately. So Too Soon, or Andrea Gibson costume at the poetry function. You're barely cold, and you've never met me, and I'm painting your tattoos on my arms. Too soon? Absolutely. But I can hear your voice saying, that's quitter talk. This is the season when the dead walk amongst us, and you're already here, and you never stopped. And what does too soon mean but the fear that we'll wake something up? How can we fear waking you when you're already awake in us? When your words are a circuit diagram for the electricity teaching my neurons how to be so full of love. When every poem I've written about death already knows that we live on as palimpsests. But the grief, we might wake the grief. I won't fear that either. When grief is just arms outstretched in yearning, an invocation of love wrapped around us that we can't see. You wrote your own summoning before we needed it, and we'll keep writing it in every kind of word that language will give us until your name means nothing and my name means nothing, and nobody remembers whether I carried off your classic butch fit, because we're all still carrying you now, the way your words carry us. Standing here with painted arms, with the tattoos of someone else, because being here is not the work of one body, and someone else is a fake idea. And now the poem Ashes. This is something that was written about a soldier who was set on fire and burned to death because he was gay. And this is something Andrea wrote. And I'm dedicating this reading to my friend Chloe Segal, who self-immolated as protest against the conditions in which she had lived her life. The night I was torn from the pages of their Bible and burned alive, my ashes came down like snow, and a girl who had never seen my face saw me falling from the sky and laid down on her back to make an angel in the powder of my bones. From heaven I watched her, though my eyes were still aflame and my ribs were still blue. They didn't win, I whispered, as her arms built my wings. They didn't win. Look at that moon. It is a pebble in my hand. Tonight I could skip it across that fog-drunk sea to the lashes accordion in the night, and all they know of hate is that it couldn't beat the love out of me, that when they dropped me to the grave, I fell like a bucket into a well and came up full, carving my lover's name into the skin of a weeping willow that had spent its entire life laughing at the rain. Hold me like a lantern, staircase my spine. When they bring the children to my funeral to scream faggot at my dust, tell them I was born into their casket, but I wouldn't pull the splinters from my heart any more than Christ would have pulled the thorns from his crimson head. They can come 1,000 times with their burning matches and their gasoline, with their hungry laws and their empty mouths full of prayers to that God who greeted me at his gates with his throat full of trumpets and his tears full of shame, as his trembling palms collected the cinders of his children's crime. I know what holy is. I know that the soul is shaped like a bowl. I know the lies we try to fill it with, and we spill too often the orchards inside. But my lover's shoes were tied with guitar strings, and when I walked beside, there was a silo in my chest. There was a field full of sun. There was a river of gold that we left to pick our sweet hearts from the trees that kept uprooting tombstones so the names of the dead would crumble into poems. Write me down like this. Say my ashes never made the news. Say the jury was full of shotguns. Then say the snow that fell on the tip of your tongue refused to melt away. Say this to the kids hiding their heartbeats from their father's fists. I planted the garden of my kiss. I opened the night with my teeth. I loved so hard that when they pressed their ear to the track, the train they hear coming will still be my chest, a rumbling harpoon, a sky they cannot bury. Look at that moon. I am a pebble in her hand. a harmonica held to the mouth of the river where nothing ever burns. Now, if there's time, I have a somewhat lighter and more grounding poem. I'll let you, okay, yeah. This one's called They, and this is the first time I've read it out of workshop. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice person, I think, preparing to meet my cab driver. I'm sure it will be fine. I don't know where he's from while I'm thinking this, but his name says Eastern Europe, maybe, which is common enough. I've met drivers from Russia and Ukraine, China and Vietnam, Nigeria and Ethiopia, Iran and Italy, Mexico and Guatemala and Brazil, every state of this country, and places I can't name because I didn't ask. I can't even taste the names of all the places in my mouth. I'm sure it will be fine. The best, most honest car dealer I've ever met is a dour man who will tell you everything about everything. A man from Romania, where he gets a deep pragmatism and an infinite network of dour cousins who work cheap. Cousins I hired once in 2023 to fix the dents in my car and saved hundreds doing it. The real cost was that I had to see the Trump sign in their acetone-drenched back office, a stew of toxic paint fumes and worse politics. But I trust my car dealer, and he's seen the X on my driver's license and said nothing. Sold a car to a trans woman friend and said nothing. And when his cousins gave me a special rate to fix my bumper, I saw the Trump sign and said nothing. I trust these people with cars, but democracy depends on other things than cars. And I wish again that we were each allowed to be a specialist, that we could all learn again to trust expertise that wasn't our own. I trust my cab driver to perform the magic rituals for surviving the freeway, but we all have to perform the magic rituals to preserve democracy, and most people haven't known for years even whose knowledge to believe in. So they trust the group which knows nothing or worse. I've met many kind Russian men and known too many queer friends no contact with their Russian families. I wonder if fear of the singular they is really the fear that an army might be incarnate in one person, that I am a sports team and all its angry fans, a nest of swarming ants, a culture too alien to reason with. Maybe this is also my fear, that I'll roll snake eyes, find the emergent property of culture staring back from a human face. I trust every cabbie to drive a car, but I wonder if someday I'll meet a hollow man who cares more about ending my queer life than keeping his freedom, and a culture that's pithed a man like that could be as close as Orange County, 20 miles away where I was born. But today, my cab driver is Armenian, and if he knows anything about my life, he doesn't say it. I ride in silence, except when we wish each other the best of days, and I walk out into the Los Angeles sun. Thank you all. It's been really meaningful to have the opportunity to do this.
Shout out to AJ via Andrea Gibson as well. Shout out to Eric for bringing the cool setup right here that we have. I heard you wanted to hop on the mic. He's doing Eric on the mic. You don't see this every day.
Of course, talking about horror, just something that's on my mind. I don't know if people know who Michio Kaku is. He's an astrophysicist. And he thinks that that 3I Atlas comet is a spaceship. So there's lots of things going on in the astronomical community right now, which is both scary and like hopeful. I mean, I go, are the aliens going to save us from the Republicans or something, you know? So anyway, I have this piece here by George Carlin that I'm going to do here. I'm a modern man, digital and smoke-free, a man for the millennium, a diversified, multicultural, postmodern deconstructionist, politically, anatomically, and ecologically incorrect. I've been uplinked and downloaded. I've been inputted and outsourced. I know the upside of downsizing. I know the downside of upgrading. I'm a high-tech, low-life, a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art, bi-coastal multitasker, and I can give you a gigabyte in a nanosecond. I'm new wave, but I'm old school. My inner child is outward bound. I'm a hot-wired, heat-seeking, warm-hearted, cool customer, voice-activated, and biodegradable. I interface with my database. My database is in cyberspace, so I'm interactive, I'm hyperactive, and from time to time, I'm radioactive. Behind the 8 ball, ahead of the curve, riding the wave, dodging the bullet, pushing the envelope. I'm on point, on task, on message, and off drugs. I've got no need for Cobra speed. I've got no urge to binge and purge. I'm in the moment, on the edge, over the top, but under the radar. A high concept, low profile, medium range ballistic missionary. A streetwise smart bomb, a Top Gun bottom feeder. I wear power ties, I tell power lies, I take power naps, I run victory laps. I'm a totally ongoing Bigfoot slam dunk rainmaker with a proactive outreach. A raging workaholic, a working rageaholic, out of rehab and in denial. I've got a personal trainer, a personal shopper, a personal assistant, and a personal agenda. You can't shut me up. You can't dumb me down because I'm tireless, I'm wireless, and I'm an alpha male, I'm beta blockers. I'm a non-believer, an overachiever, laid back and fashion forward, up front, down home, low rent, high maintenance. I'm supersized, long-lasting, high definition, fast-acting, oven-ready, and built to last. A hands-on, footloose, knee-jerk head case, prematurely post-traumatic, and I have a love child who sends me hate mail. But I'm feeling, I'm caring, I'm healing, I'm sharing, a supportive, bonding, nurturing primary caregiver. My output is down, but my income is up. I take a short position on the long bond, and my revenue stream has its own cash flow. I read junk mail. I eat junk food. I buy junk bonds. I watch trash sports. I'm gender specific, capital intensive, user friendly, and lactose intolerant. I like rough sex. I like tough love. I use the F word in my email, and the software on my hard drive is hardcore, no soft porn. I bought a microwave at a mini mall. I bought a minivan at a mega store. I eat fast food in the slow lane. I'm toll-free, bite-sized, ready to wear, and I come in all sizes. A fully equipped, factory-authorized, hospital-tested, clinically proven, scientifically formulated medical miracle. I've been pre-washed, pre-cooked, preheated, pre-screened, pre-approved, pre-packaged, post-dated, freeze-dried, double-wrapped, and vacuum-packed. I have an unlimited broadband capacity. I'm a rude dude, but I'm the real deal. Lean and mean, cocked and locked and ready to rock, rough, tough, and hard to bluff. I take it slow, I go with the flow, I ride with the tide. I've got glide in my stride. Driving and moving, sailing and spinning, jiving and grooving, wailing and winning. I don't snooze, so I don't lose. I keep the pedal to the metal and the rubber on the road. I party hardy, and lunchtime is crunch time. I'm hanging in there. There ain't no doubt. I'm hanging in, over and out. All right, thank you.
All right. Let's give it up one more time for Eric Alberg. The man in the booth. Coming soon to a theater near you. Let's welcome LA's sweetheart, Juan D. Where's Juan D? Can't see shit. Yeah. Oh, there he is.
gonna be hard to top that. My father lost his real teeth, one at a time. Woke up every morning and another tooth was lying on the mattress. So one day he decided he's got to get them all pulled out, right? But he doesn't have any money. Middle of Peru with no money and no insurance, and every morning just another tooth lying on the mattress. So what does he do? He begs the government on some insurance, something to get some money, some GI Bill or whatever you have here in the US, and he gets the money, but it's not enough money. I mean, it costs a lot to have your teeth yanked. They're charged by the individual tooth, you know. I mean, one tooth isn't equal to another tooth. One is more expensive, like the big ones in the back. I don't know. So, he locates a Mexican dentist and travels all the way up north. Says this dentist will do the whole thing for a song. And he takes off hitchhiking. How many days do you think it takes a man his age, 60, 70, to get to Mexico? About a month. And there he is. So he finally stumbles into Mexico. And dentist takes his money and his teeth. And he calls me and I see him through the phone. There he is in Mexico with his teeth gummed out, suit up, his pockets empty. And then I go out to see him. See? I go out there and I take him out on a nice Chinese dinner. But he doesn't eat. All he wants to do is drink chelitas out of plastic cups, just eat a little, see some girls, I don't know. And then he takes his teeth out because he can't stand the feel of them. He puts it on the table. I asked the waitress for a doggy bag to take the Chinese food home in. So he lays his teeth in the doggy bag along with the chop suey. And then we go out to hit up the bars, up and down the highway. Says he wants to introduce me to the buddies he met in the city. And in one of those bars, up and down the highway, he left his teeth with the doggy bag. Along with the chop suey. And I'm sorry. And we went back, but we never did find it. Now that's a true story. True to life. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Juan D. Raw stories tonight. I'm gonna close out unless somebody else wants to hop. We have time for that. No? All right. So I'll read one poem that I just wrote, and I like this red filter that these glasses are giving me. I feel like it's 2003. So shout out to Jenna for that. And yeah, I don't know if you've all noticed, but as you come into this building, the words "limping up the aisle, I read it tasted blood" are written on the walls. So this is just the perfect haunted literary art space. that there could be. And I get to work here, so that's awesome. Now, we all know the other guy named David Foster Wallace. He has an essay called Consider the Lobster," and so I wrote a small poem called "Consider the Axolotl." In the concrete canals of Tenochtitlan, el refugiado in the belly of the moon, smiling at the light, smiling at the hung-over shadows lurching through the puentes, smiling the smiles of Chompira captors. In a city of espejos, the creature's innocent ojos awaiting the earth's drum rolls. Water the land orange and poetic fate, obsidian crystal, aquarium cemetery made of Tlaloc tears, permanent smile through the eternal sadness. And the other handsome Mexican guy named Ivan is on page 29 through 33. Prophetic number, because that's when Jesus died. Or that's how old he was. PO 441 versus La Yawalica Auto Electric. And PO 441 is a devil code that you get in your car that is just not fixable. So it's there's a battle between that code and the mechanic. Fuga. On this corner, the code breaks life in a 5-star operation. The source lies crushed to the bone. In the other corner, life surprises you with a distracted driver. Your old works fly out the glove box. The insurance reads them all and build a case against you. Word vomit takes possession of your rubber brain. The leak opens the passenger door, brings the dead to my lap. They tell me I am broken record, repeating myself to myself, repeating the AM emission, a 6-digit inflation, $6 a gallon, proof of the new invasion. I am clog, tank, jam on noise, blowing up your cheap sound system. I am hatred purged on planet Earth. A 911 jaywalking glitch, a catchy jingle bitch. You want me to undo before you. In the same corner, the hostess embodies. Only this evacuates the infection. Eye for eye, bolt for bolt, the poem comes undone. Thank you. All right. And now this is when the orgy starts. Thank you all. See ya. But thank you all for being here tonight. We have copies of Blastbones in the bookstore, so please check that out. And we have a wide collection of books as well. But yeah, thank you all for being here tonight. Love you. Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot about the costume contest. Okay. Well, Jen is not here. Jen, I guess, can't win one of them. Okay, so everybody that was on costume, like, step up to the stage. Yes. Yes, up here. Okay, for our first prize winner. Okay, so let's give it up. So we have Duncan right here, and Duncan, remind us of your costume. You tell me. Right on. Okay. So, round of applause. Or now let's hear it for Andrea Gibson. Okay. Okay. Wait, Faye, who are you? Damn. Okay. Well, round of applause for Homer. Okay. Okay. Then we have Emily Dickinson. Damn. Okay. Okay. Kind of have a tie. And then we got Milton's Devil. Okay. Okay. It was sounding like Andrew Gibson was like pretty up there. Okay, wait, one more time for Andrew Gibson. One more time for Emily Dickinson. Okay, I think we'll get one to Andrew Gibson. Right here we have. And yeah, I think we have an honorable mention with Emily Dickinson. So. No, we have it for you. Don't worry. Yeah, it's right behind you. So, thank you all for participating.